0.04 and alpha is 0.1. Okay, which one is smaller? Your p-value or your alpha? P-value is smaller, right? Okay, p-value is smaller. Okay, 0.4 is smaller than 0.1. So your p-value is smaller than your alpha. Which one? This one or this one? A or B? A, right? Because the rule states that whenever P is less than alpha, whenever P value is less than your significance level, you must reject your null hypothesis. If P value, so therefore that's why I rejected the null hypothesis, because the P value is 0.04 and your significance level is 0.1. So I rejected the null hypothesis. Okay, so this is my finding. Okay. Question is, how do I remember these rules? No, this is a must-have skill of researchers. You, whenever that you see a statistical results and you don't care about anything else, you just look at the p-value. That number will determine whether you accept or reject the null hypothesis. Okay, how do I remember that? It's a very simple trick. Very simple trick. Okay, all right. Oops. If I the trick is not to show that ink is not available. it's not the trick, yeah. Okay. Okay. I put this into P. What does P now becomes R, right? Alright. So this symbol is pointing to R. R stands for reject. Okay, so reject null hypothesis. Okay. This symbol is pointing towards P or A, alpha. Alpha starts with the letter A. A means accept. Okay, so simple. Okay, so that's how you remember. Mana lampu dia? Ni? Okay. Alright. So the finding is to reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, okay, if you stop there, you get a big question mark. Okay? You should not, but you should conclude the finding by stating that there is a statistically significant relationship between gender and transport mode selection. Okay? That is more important. How we conclude our test. Okay? So that is for 2A. This is for 2B. 2B, oh sorry, should not be gender but place of stay. No, you know that I copy and paste. Yeah? So the hypothesis should be place of stay. Yeah? So nanti I correct that. Okay, gender does not influence, should be place of stay does not influence. Okay, transport mode selection. Yeah? So the variable is between the variables are place of stay and transport mode. Yeah? With a degrees of freedom equals to 3, the chi-square value is 1.012 with a p-value of 0.254. Okay? Should I accept or should I reject the null hypothesis? Okay, look at the p-value. The p-value is equals to 0.254. Okay? And you are testing at 90% confidence level, giving you a 10% significance level or 0.1 significance level. Which one is bigger or larger, P or alpha? P value. Okay, so P is greater than alpha, therefore, okay, accept the null hypothesis. But in statistical terms, we don't say we accept null hypothesis. We say we fail to reject, because the aim is either to reject or not reject. The aim is to reject. The aim is to reject the hypothesis, because the important one is at the alternative hypothesis. Okay, the important one is at the alternative hypothesis. So if you accept, actually you fail to reject null hypothesis. Okay, so there is the way of writing statistical results. But if you say null hypothesis is accepted, is still correct. Yeah, but not that fine-tuned. Yeah, fine-tuned. Okay. The conclusion is that since we fail to reject the null hypothesis, the conclusion is that there is no significant relationship between place of stay and transport mode selection. Alright? So there is no significant relationship because we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Okay, what would be the null and the alternative hypothesis for this one? You may ask, for this test, what would be the null and what would be the alternative hypothesis? Because hypotheses always come in pairs. Okay, it always come in pairs of null and alternative. Okay, for this test, the null hypothesis would be there is no significant relationship between place of stay and transport mode selection. The alternative would be there is a significant relationship. So when you fail to reject the null hypothesis or you accept the null hypothesis, means that statistically you have proven that there is no significant relationship. Okay. Lastly, for our last research question would be, what are the opinion of UTM students on cycling? Okay, so that is a Likert scale opinion-based questions. So I've analyzed using appropriate analysis for Likert scale. So I found that the majority believes that cycling promotes campus sustainability from the first question on campus sustainability. Majority also think that cycling is inconvenient and quite dangerous. Okay? So 80% believe that or think that it is inconvenient because I combine response for agree and strongly agree. Okay, so 65 plus 15, 80%. Strongly agree and agree that it is inconvenient. Okay, and dangerous 65% when I combine agree and strongly agree. Okay, inconvenient. So the conclusion is that cycling promotes campus sustainability, but it is inconvenient and dangerous. Alright. So, how are this finding important? It means that students want to participate, maybe because they believe that cycling is good. Yeah? It promotes campus sustainability. It promotes healthy living. But they don't want to do it because they thought that it is dangerous and inconvenient. So if we address the safety issue and the convenience issue by maybe providing better facility for them, they are willing to maybe switch from taking bus or walk or riding motorbike to cycling. Okay, so these are results that have policy implication. Okay. All right, putting it all together. Okay, this is a checklist. Okay, you have answered your research questions, but have you met the research objective? Okay, you have to make sure this. Okay, because your research design actually is a contract between you and the examiner or your reader. Okay, your objective is actually a contract. What you promise the examiner and the reader, okay, and you must deliver that promise. Nothing more, nothing less. If you have 3 objectives, you have to prove that you have met all the 3 objectives. If you show that you have met 4 objectives, then there's something missing somewhere. Okay, beginning 3, at the end 4. Okay, so this is a checklist. Okay? From research question 1, what are the modal split among UTM students? The conclusion is that cycling is the least preferred mode of transportation among UTM students. Okay, so I've met the research objective, the first research objective, because the research objective wants to know the modal split. Okay? Research question 2A, does gender influence transport mode selection? Gender does influence transport mode selection. Okay? Remember that our finding also confirmed that, right? Because the finding says that it is inconvenient and dangerous. Maybe because female respondents find it more dangerous than male respondent, and our finding prove that gender does influence mode selection. Research question 2B, does place of stay influence transport mode selection? Place of stay does not influence transport mode selection. So it doesn't matter where the students are, as long as you address the safety issue, as long as you address the inconveniences of the possible riders, no, they are willing takers of the program. They're willing to participate in the program because they all believe that it is good for the campus. Alright. So finally, research question 3. What are the opinion of UTM students on cycling? Yes, cycling promotes campus sustainability. They believe in that, but they also think that it is inconvenient and dangerous. So I have met all my 3 research objectives. Alright, and I have concluded my presentation as well. Thank you very much. Soalan? Kita ada about half an hour. Well, you can do that. You can do that if you want to discuss the results in detail. But I just want to be very simple. You can, if you have the data, you can discuss in many ways. You can see, how you can even correlate between gender and place of stay, for example. But what does that have to do with the research problem? Yes. I'm sorry? Checklist? Yes. Sometimes I've seen that even in the last chapter, in chapter 6 or 5, if that is your last chapter, just to show that you have met all the research objectives. It is not necessary, but it depends. If you want to convince the examiner, you can do it and put in your thesis, or you can only for your own self assessment. Yes. Okay, I agree that my focus or the scope of my presentation or discussion solely based on quantitative type of research. Okay? It does not even address qualitative research. Okay, but there are some of you that might be into it. Yeah? Qualitative research is something that is different, a lot different, but in some ways it can be converted into quantitative research. For example, now if you do, let's say, content analysis, okay, you analyze the frequency of certain keywords appearing in answers or responses by your respondent. That analysis is quantitative analysis. But how you extract the data, how you determine keywords, for example, that is in the realm of qualitative analysis. Okay, it is a totally different area altogether. Yeah? Maybe one of these days, I think the organizer might want to do a session on qualitative research. I think that is an area that we neglected a lot in this faculty, and it is also becoming quite popular now that people are mixing between qualitative and quantitative research. Okay, it will be an interesting session. There are a lot of experts, not in this faculty but also from other faculty, which I think we can call them. Soalan lain? That's all? Tak ada soalan? Because you have asked questions during. Okay. Alright. Yes.
From the example given, sir, sometimes people may have a different opinion in respect of this research being a cross-sectional one. Because if a research like this is carried out this year, then next year, for another set of students, they may have a different opinion based on their background as related to taking a bicycle or cycling. So will this type of results stand the test of time?
That's why there are always people doing research. Okay, because there is a need to update certain information, certain knowledge. Okay, for example, last 10 years, if you do a research on cycling, nobody would be interested in cycling. It is not seen as a major form of transportation. 10 years later, now cycling is seen as very important towards campus accessibility. 10 years from today, it may be different. It may be different. Maybe flying is a better form of of transportation. It doesn't congest the road, and it doesn't pollute the environment. So it depends. It depends. So one of the thing that people do is to also update information, update knowledge, especially if you suspect that there are new elements or new changes in the environment that was not there previously but is now prominent at the current time. So you may want to update that. Update that. Whether that is a PhD research or master research, that is a different story. Yes. 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 Yes.
They mentioned when we are stating our problems, there are some problem symptoms.
Yes.
That we needed to be explained.
Yes.
Before you now come up with your problem statement. Now, in the course of explaining those symptoms, we're going to be from maybe 1 to 3 chapters.
Yes.
Then how do you see that?
Okay. Again, like I said, that it is not the objective of research or doing doctorate to solve the world's problem. It's also not the objective of your thesis to be a novel. So limit your discussions to only the most important one, important statistics that directly contribute to justifying your research problem. Of course, you may, in some areas you have abundance of data. Selecting which one is the most relevant is also a problem by itself. So do not, your thesis first should not try to be a book. Okay, but you should not cover everything under the sun in that area. Second, it should not attempt to teach. Okay, some thesis I've seen, the literature review takes 2 or 3 chapters, just literature reviews. Okay, because it covers from the basic knowledge about the area. Okay, for example, accidents. Talk about definition of accidents. Talk about the history of cars. Before cars, no accidents because people are walking. It is not a textbook. It is not a textbook. The thesis will be read by experts. Even if you go to the library, you you are selecting which thesis to read, you have some knowledge about the field or the research area before you select which one that you want to read. So the thesis is a book or a text of higher knowledge, high level knowledge. So you don't have to discard even the basic one. That's when you unnecessarily write many chapters. One chapter 70 pages. Unnecessary. No, the more that you write, the higher the probability that you make mistakes. The more opportunity for the examiners to ask questions. And maybe some of the questions maybe the least the area that you are least knowledgeable about it, but it's there in your thesis. It's there in your thesis. And you may have even forgotten that you have written about it. And that is the time and that is the point that the examiner pick it up. So it is dangerous. So just put enough, that is required to get your doctorate, answer your questions. The rest, that's why you have references. If they want to know more, they can go to the references that you have listed at the end of your thesis. Last time when I was doing my PhD, I had 3 supervisors. I had 3 supervisors. One from social science, one from mathematics, and the other one from engineering. 3 supervisors from 3 different school of thoughts and 3 styles of writing. Very difficult, very difficult. So finally, all agreed that the simplest is the best. That's all. Okay, thank you. Anyway, I have my contacts listed in front of you, so feel free to contact me. You're free to contact me, but I may not be free to answer your questions. I will sometimes I will delay. I will answer you. I know I still owe Victor a review of his abstract. Please remind me. I will not say no to you, but please remind me. You will get it sooner or later. Okay. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, thank you for Associate Prof. Dr. Zali. And before you leave you can take the foods, and please provide us with the survey form, and please the attendance sheet fill in. Thank you. And for the slide, we will put it in our PGSS FMB Facebook, and you can download it for the attachment. Any question for that? Come see me. Thank you.
Chief, you are not yet used to Malay food.
I'm not used to that kind of makan.
Good rice is good.